This is a public service. Didn't get in here last time, it was closed. Some AA stuff, certainly commendable.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Is Chief Miller available?
I am not sure. What's your name?
He's
Yeah.
expecting me.
He's expecting you? All right. Let me see if I can find him.
Hey, I'll be upstairs.
I'll go up there. I should go up?
Nope, he's coming.
Oh, okay.
Hey, how you doing, bud? Come on up. We're gonna go upstairs a little bit more. What's going on? Oh, wow. We never cleared up.
Yeah, it's coming. I fought a little on the way here, but it cleared enough for me to stay dry.
All right, good. Is it Friday yet? So do you do this full time or?
No, I'm a small business owner.
Oh, what do you? Hey, how you doing?
You gonna go?
Give me 2 seconds, give me 2 minutes, I'll be in.
Yeah.
I have to be. I mean, I was shocked by your email. I'm not sure
Yeah.
if you expected shock to be what it.
Yeah, I didn't know how to understand that. Shocked is in a good way or shocked is in a bad way? So,
Yeah, no, certainly in
Yeah.
a good way. You know, because who doesn't want good interactions?
Right.
I mean, you know.
So, all right. So here, I know you're recording. You can keep recording. So here's my. I'm open for the dialogue. Okay. So it's two-way streak with me. I'm an open book. I'm very open to a lot of things. So, you know, you do this full time. I'm not full time, but this is your passion. Just like law enforcement, serving and protecting is our passion. So you have to look at this. This is an opportunity being given to you for a police department to open its doors to you, to come in and walk in and teach our officers or communicate with them about your passion for the rights and the, you know, the, what would be the word? You know, it comes a great, you know, seriousness of having that weight. So, you know, and please don't take this the wrong way, is this an opportunity to boost your social media platform? Okay, so you have to make that interpretation or that decision, okay? Because you do have a lot of good input, and we want to hear it. We've talked to other people that are First Amendment, and then I'm going to introduce you right here. People and auditors, and we've never gotten this far with the dialogue, so this is great. But it's two ways. It's not just us, it's you also. So, you know, I can tell if we get to the training, I can tell you the officers are not going to want to be filmed. So if that's the only way you want to do it, that's an opportunity that not you lose, not we lose, us, I mean law enforcement, we all lose.
Okay.
So this is your opportunity. If you truly have a good heart of wanting us to open our minds, this is a perfect opportunity for you. Perfect opportunity.
I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah. So this is our training officer. That's why he is here, Investigator Ballantyne. and this is our captain. He runs the police department, the operations and all that. Chris Yates, and you know our city manager, Joe Forte.
Yes, sir.
Sorry for the long rambling.
No, I do, Chief. I do look at this as an opportunity. You know, I'm not sure if you looked at my channel, but you can see that, you know, I haven't been doing this for maybe long enough to be jaded as to what I'm doing. You know, my goal is to bridge the gap. I've said it in many of my videos, and you know, I've had some really negative interactions, and I've had some great ones. Your department being one of those great ones, and also one of those bad ones at the same time. So I do view this as an opportunity. I think it's very important for officers. I mean, you guys are, and I don't need to tell any of you this. You guys know this, that your job is tough. You know, you're dealing with situations that they're tough. I'll just put it that way. But you know, understanding the people's rights is, I mean, it's very important. I mean,
Absolutely.
I mean,
Absolutely.
I'm just the guy talking to you. You know, I didn't swear an oath. You know what I mean? But I think that's important, and hopefully, you know, I think I'm only sitting here because you think the same thing, that it's important. So, you know, that's how I'm viewing this whole thing. If you know, if we get to the point and I've got to shut a video camera off, you know, so be it. Yeah.
No, you're very kind. You know your voice. You're very kind and low keyed. We get approached. And it wasn't the last gentleman, and I don't want to say his name or with his company, but he was really cool too. But we have been approached several times, and this is where I wonder what you have. I'm going to make it very clear. You were not, at least I didn't interpret it this way. But the hidden message, is it to boost their pay for, you know, every time you get clicked on YouTube or something like that, you get so many. Yeah, I mean, I'm
clicks. Small enough that I'm not.
No, I know, but the others, but they hit us with such confrontation. Like, you know, they'll go up and they'll say, you know, let me see your whatever, and they'll stick this in an officer's face, and they don't do it in a you know. There's different ways to do that. We're all passionate about our rights, and you know, those that do what you do, there's a way to do it without being so intimidating, because nobody wants anyone in their face, especially where cops are getting killed left and right. We had somebody approached a year and a half ago, one of our officers approached out there, and you know, a guy approached them, and they ended up fighting him because the guy wanted to be killed. And you know, so I do understand sometimes. I don't approve of what the sergeant did. I do understand it, because sometimes people set us up. They want to create confrontation. I don't believe you were doing that.
And he doesn't owe me. He doesn't owe me anything.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if I ask you if you're willing to answer a question, you know, either do or don't. You know?
Right. So I wanted to get, what I would recommend, and then we're going to go into the training, is, you know, for future, is when you would maybe start, you know, maybe going into the records department and asking for a sergeant and talk to somebody and kind of, I don't want to say set it up, but let them know, because when you do that, it drops our defense. If you don't want to do that, if you see cops in a parking lot, you know, just say, hey, I'm whatever your name is. I know your name, but I don't know if you want people.
I don't. I would prefer not.
Yeah, so that's why I didn't use it. Say, hey, I'm such and such.
This is a very intimidating environment, even for a law-abiding citizen. You know? When somebody's exercising their First Amendment rights and their fear is First Amendment retaliation, you know, that it's chilling.
How do you feel right now with us?
I mean, I feel good. I mean,
you're comfortable?
Yeah, I am comfortable.
Okay, that's important.
Yeah.
Because, and I'm going to kind of just jump in here, Chief.
The reason why I backed up is I was just going to tell you, start from back here, but go ahead. I don't want you to think I backed up
Yeah.
any other reason. I was going to go into how to approach our officers.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
truly try not to be confrontational.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
that, McCorkle and Shaheen, the way I
Yeah.
approached them was
Yeah.
typically how I approach
Yeah,
people.
yeah. Go ahead, sir.
I thought I looked at it as a real learning experience. When you came into the chambers and when you ask somebody what they know or understand about First Amendment rights, especially when you're talking with a police officer who's in a position where they're taking someone's liberty. That's their number one most important.
Yeah, I mean, people only call one. They only tried to. I'm not sure. I'm phrasing this terribly, but people only call the police to violate rights, and that's scary.
To what now?
To violate rights.
Yeah. When you call a police officer, someone is in trouble for something,
Right.
and someone's rights are being violated.
Well, not necessarily. I mean,
Typically a crime is being committed.
yeah, but I mean, that's a matter of law, right?
Correct.
So if someone's breaking the law, they still have rights, right? But you're not necessarily violating their rights if they're breaking
Okay.
the law. I mean, you have to follow the law.
Okay.
You want to know something that we deal with a lot, and they can probably explain it more? We get calls from people that say, hey, there's a drug dealer at this house, or there's this illegal activity over here. Why can't you stop it? Why don't you go up there and arrest them? And we have to explain to that person, these people have the same rights that you do. Even though they're committing a crime, they still have rights. Homeless people, we deal with a lot of homeless, and people say, get them out of the park. Well, unless they're committing a crime, they have a right to be there. And we struggle with educating the general public that these people, everyone still have their basic rights. And we can't just go up to somebody at their door and say, step out, we want to search you because your neighbor said you're dealing drugs. But the community thinks we have the ability to do that. And it makes the job
That's scary also. I mean,
very difficult. We don't, I just saw people drive down the road and he stopped and he exchanged something with that guy standing there. You need to go talk to him about it. Well, we don't have the ability to do that. Unless an officer witnesses that, they can't just go up to somebody standing in their front yard and say, well, that person is accusing you of something, so I'm here to search you. So we have to explain to the general public that all these people have rights that we have to respect and uphold. Regardless, criminals in their active crimes still have rights.
absolutely.
Yeah. So, yeah, go ahead.
So I'm kind of excited that, because after we spoke that night and I talked to the chief and I said, there's a lot of good points here. And if our officers if over time have forgotten or become complacent or whatever, this is a good wake-up call. It's a good opportunity. It's a learning opportunity that we're going to take advantage of to try to re-educate our officers and beyond, not just the police department, but all of our.
Yeah, and listen, I'm not a constitutional scholar, you know what I mean? I the only reason I'm out here is because I saw, two reasons. I saw a problem, and the second reason being I had a negative interaction, and there was no tape. There was no
Right.
objective record of what
Right.
of what occurred and what happened. It was a violation,
Yeah.
and
I think the fact that you're back here today says a lot too.
Yeah.
well, I think it says more about you guys than it does about me. I mean, I don't know how common this is, but
It's becoming more common. Yeah.
well,
So just to circle back, I want to we get into training. I just want to help you because we know where we need to do better. So going back to the video recording, you got to remember, some people get nervous when they're being videoed. Some people they feel like they're on the news as far as when you're video recording, and they're not going to speak well under that type of stress. So I would always I would suggest that you to start from, the rear backward, or distance, and just say, hey, my name is such and such, or I'm with First Amendment. This is non-confrontational. I'm just out trying to, talk to cops. I love law enforcement. And I would put some type of segue before you go up and hit them like that. You would get so much of a better encounter with a law enforcement officer if you have a segue rather than doing, bam. You know what I mean? So if you want the bam, then
I think I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't know that I have the approach that is in your face. So I don't. I mean, I have seen that approach.
Right.
I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
So that's all. Yeah.
I just don't know that that's something that I've done.
Okay.
And maybe you're seeing it in something I've done. And
I saw for all trends. I saw a little bit with the Sarge. You kind of. Now, if you had dialogue before all that, I did not see that. But you kind of went up, and I'm not excusing what he did, but I can tell you he's probably one of our most kindest sergeants, and I think he just got a little, and not that he's weak or shouldn't be tough as a police officer. He just got caught off guard with, I don't think you rapidly approached him. You kind of went in a little bit and, First Amendment and, hit him. I think if you would have did a segue, that interaction would have went a whole different way with him. And again, I'm not putting on the blame with you. I'm just saying, how do we want to talk about how getting, bridging that gap. That's how we bridge a gap, because it's two ways, the public, meaning you all, it works both ways with us. We mess up, we own it. There's what we have a 5-0 club that we talk to teenagers at Holly Hill School and a private school, and we open up our first meeting with, we've all seen the YouTube videos and all the other social media platforms of the negative interaction between a cop and usually a person under the age of 30. So, we actually go through mock traffic stops in the classroom with them. We do they get in the chairs and we make it look like a make-believe car. We pull them over and we let them be the police officer, and then we're the police officer in the interaction. And we say, look, most of the time if you get pulled over, comply and then complain. The time to debate the situation is not at the traffic stop. It's not to argue, it's not to fight, it's not to refuse to produce your ID. Comply and then complain. So, but with that being said, how do you envision this training? How would you like to envision it?
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I think that having an understanding of, what you guys want out of it is probably the most important thing. I mean, this is, all intents, less than a year in, and really, there was a 7 month gap between my videos. So, I didn't expect this. So I can just say that, if realistically, what I would want all of the officers to come away with anything is just understanding the Bill of Rights. I mean, there's really only a few that even apply to police officers, right. And others apply to the justice system. Right. But the first, the fourth, the fifth, those are critically important for law enforcement officers to know. And again, I don't need to tell you this. I'm seeing a problem, and I'm just trying to address it in whatever way that I can.
Yeah. So maybe we could, because there'll have to be a couple times. I can't get all the officers at one time. It's just, you have a very soft, non-confrontational tone. which I like. You're not out beating your fist, because that turns everybody off, not only cops. You know, if I did this to you, you know, you would be the same way. I'm not interacting with that guy. So I think that's where we all click. If maybe 15 minutes to 30 minutes, you just get out and tell your story to us. Tell your story of the negative interaction you had with law enforcement, because we've been here a while, but you know, he's captain last year. I'm the new chief within the last year. He's now our training officer / investigator. If you get in and you tell your story to these cops, they can hear it, because we preach it all the time. And I can assure you of that. We've done it through emails about, you know, video recording. People have a right to video record you. We do draw the line. They don't have a right to mess with your investigation or any of that. And most of the time, FAA First Amendment audit people don't do that. The good ones know not to disrupt the traffic stop, because they respect that law too. So, you know, just tell your story, what your goals are, and you know, and have that interaction like you did with Officer Shaheen and Officer McCorkle. And I think if they see that, it will help the next time that this occurs, that because they're afraid. You're afraid. I'll be honest. You're afraid of them. I don't know if you are, but you know, of the interaction.
I'm afraid of First Amendment retaliation.
Right. They're afraid of you all too. As big bad as people think cops are, they are. Am I wrong? No. Speak up. They're afraid. And you know, the question is, should a cop be afraid of anything? I don't know. We're human beings. We bleed. We cry. We have mental challenges. We're killed at staggering rates within the last 5 years. They're afraid. And, you know, their main goal is to go home at the end of the day to their families. And I don't think sometimes leaders portray the human side to cops. So that's another thing I want to do to all of this. You know, we are human beings. We make mistakes. We say inappropriate things sometimes. We should be held accountable. We shouldn't be given free tickets and free rides, but we do make mistakes, and that's another goal.
And that isn't lost on me by any means. We're all human.
Yeah. So maybe in an email, take some time of some things that you want to convey. I don't need a formal outline, because we can keep this really and jump in.
No, 15 to 30 minutes.
Pardon me?
15 to 30 minutes.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, and then you'll never know. You know, the goal is when you pop up on a lunch and have, because people bring us food. Now that COVID is starting to get over, they're bringing us food a lot. You know, call me, you're free to stay, and come sit down and interact with them. And, you know, and learn about, take a ride along and see. I get it. You want us to see through your eyes, and we're going to do that. But you got to take.
Do a ride along. Yeah.
Pardon me?
I'd love to do it.
Yeah, and that's great. I want people like you to see through our eyes too, because it goes two ways. So, you know, we're open book here at Holly Hill. We're transparent. We make mistakes. We learn from it, and I'm really excited about this, because I want them to see FAA's not. The federal aviation, but you know, First Amendment auditors in a different way. Like the other gentleman, he was cool. Our officer, I don't want to say his name, but he was cool. We got dialogue with him, and he was really cool. He was a good guy. He presented his argument why he does this, and we get along. And but so
yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, they're just like police officers. You know, there's a wide range of temperament.
Yeah,
you know?
there is.
So
yeah,
that's no different in, you know, I'll just use the term that you use in the FAA community. Yeah. There's no difference there. I mean,
right.
It's probably, I don't want to say worse, but I mean, let's say the edges.
Yeah.
You know, so. You know, I don't represent all those people.
You do
just
not.
Like you don't. You know, just like all of the officers don't represent you. But you know, I want to work together.
Yeah,
to,
I know you do.
Find better ground.
So do I. Did you guys, I know, have been like yapping left and right.
I'm ready to work with you to do this.
Yeah.
So once everything gets rolling, you and I will probably meet quite a
Yeah.
few times. And
Yeah.
set it all up.
Okay.
Captain, you got anything, or how you envision all this?
You explained my concern to the T.
Yeah.
Does it have to be in the classroom setting?
No.
Can we do
No.
Can we do it in the parking lot?
Yes.
Can we just get
Yes.
the
And then-
officers here and have a 15-minute,
Yes.
Yeah, that's actually a great idea, because then it
We'll work on that.
yeah. So so do you have your card, or
No, I didn't.
we'll go down to the police department. Actually, we'll show you around. I can't, and I can't have you film the inside of the police department though, only because of security reasons for breaches. I'm not fluffing. We don't. The records department we do, but anywhere because of just for safety reasons and stuff like that. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that. But we'll give you a tour, because we do give tours, and
I'll
It's
give
not
you
as
my card.
exciting down there.
yeah, it's really not. But
There used to be years ago, we had a holding cell down there.
Yeah. Thank God we got out of
four
that.
cells, and so we don't hold anybody on site anymore.
Yeah.
Anybody that gets processed, the processing is done out at the sheriff's office at the jail out there. So it's not the exciting vision that people think police departments are. It's just a bunch of office space down there.
Yeah, but I think the somewhere out, even we can we got people. Even if we could, if it's too hot or raining outside, maybe we could do it in the training room, and I'll get pizza for everybody. We got Hungry Howie's that'll do pizza. To bring them, I notice when you feed cops and everybody, and even people, when people are breaking bread, right? The stress level goes down. You know what I mean? So, but I'm really looking forward. I want to thank you. You've been very non-confrontational, non-finger pointing. I got to commend you on that. I'm not, as you could tell in that half hour, I don't, and he definitely doesn't sugarcoat things. We don't sugarcoat things, and
Part of the problem in the past is we deal with like the regular mainstream media,
yeah,
and so much is taken out of context.
yeah,
When I worked in Seminole County, I really didn't interact with the media. I always say, look, I'll give you an opportunity, but when you misquote or take things out of context, that's when the relationship breaks down. And after a while, I just stopped communicating with them, because they would take snippets. And I think that's what a lot of the fear is,
yeah.
So believe it or not, some of these folks actually go to PIO training, what's PIO?
Public information.
Public Information
Yeah.
Officer training, so that they know how to respond to the mainstream media whether it's a crime scene or anything, and the media shows up and you have to explain to them what's happening. A lot of times they'll try to back you into a corner of something, and they don't know how to respond. So we actually send people to public information training so that they know how to better interact and respond to mainstream media.
Yeah, I mean, I just want a dialogue,
Yeah.
and there's plenty of videos on my page that are edited, but there's always the unedited version that has start to finish,
Right.
everything, because I don't want to misrepresent what's
Thank
happening.
Yeah, what I'm talking about is they'll ask a question and they'll show a response that's not to that question. They'll show a response from another question.
Yeah.
And that's pretty.
It's
Yeah.
unethical.
It's deceiving.
Yeah, it is, and we have a really good rapport with Springer and Matt and Claire. So
Yeah, you've got some that have been around a while.
yeah, they're veterans. They've been in the trenches. So, but yeah, I mean, we could go down and show you around a little bit if you want to do that. And I'll introduce you to some of the people, the troops, but yeah, we're excited about doing this. We can always do better. We can always do better at what we do.
I like the idea of doing it because I want to be the department that's out front.
Right.
I want to be the department that you say this is an example of what we're looking.
Well, I'm not sure if you guys looked further into my channel, but I had an interaction with another chief.
I did not.
Yeah, in Longwood.
Oh, I saw that one.
And
Yeah, I did not personally
it was
look in.
completely different, and it was off-putting, and he lied straight to my face, and then he lied in email. and then he implicated somebody else in his lie. So, you know, that was right before this.
Oh, okay.
So you can imagine how refreshing,
Yeah.
you know, getting your email was, because that wasn't what I had been.
Yeah,
feeling.
Sergeant shouldn't have did that to you. He shouldn't. He should have just said, you know, hey, you caught me off guard, because he did have a rough day, and I'm not justifying. He had an extremely. We had some incidents.
Yeah, no,
go
that's
on.
totally
Yeah,
understandable.
but he, you know, and usually, you know, he should have did it a different way. Hey, I'm not in the mood today to be on camera, you know, even make a joke. I don't have my makeup on. You know, I always try to bring things down, you know, with a joke. I'm pretty jovial, so,
Levity's good.
you know, Mr. Gator Ballantyne has his makeup on today. He's ready to do a promo video for National Night Out. So also I always try to pitch it. You should come to our National Night Out on October 4th. 5:30 to 7:30 here. It's about bridging the gap. We'll have food. Bounce houses probably wouldn't be for you, but we're going to have live music. We're going to have businesses, social service providers here, but local businesses showcasing.
It's an event that many cities do throughout the
Right.
country.
Yeah,
And it's an opportunity to get people out of their homes,
right.
to visit with the local government,
Right.
visit with the police departments in a friendly atmosphere.
Right.
And how long have we been doing it?
Oh, God.
Since I've been
10
here.
years now, hardcore. Started it with about 5 people showing up, literally. And they were all running for office at Holly Hill.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, that's the only people who would show up is people running for office. And now we had 400 people last year on the footsteps.
Great event for kids. They love coming out.
Yeah, biggest thing is, you know, when you interact with law enforcement, 99% of the time it's the worst day of your life. Whether you're getting a ticket, whether you're having an argument with your neighbor, whether you've been burglarized or a victim of a crime, but 99% of the time when you call us, when you interact with us, it's the worst day of your life. So now we're trying to, you know, that's what the National Night Out event is all about. It's about positive interaction, you know, with law enforcement. Captain Yates will be leading some line dancing. He's a heck of a dancer. So, all right. You have anything else before we go downstairs?
No, I don't. I mean, just getting an idea of what you guys want is. I mean,
Just be who you are. Be like what you're looking for. I'd like you to tell your story.
I think it's important
Yeah.
that I think, not that you have to do it, but you guys should work with them on refreshing the officers on the Bill of Rights.
Right.
Not just the First Amendment, but all the Bill of Rights.
Yep.
And then this is an opportunity, it's also customer service.
Correct.
You know, it's mostly customer service, because if you understand all that. But I think, you know, we went through this when I went to law enforcement school as well, back in '98. So when you went to law enforcement school.
Did they have call boxes back then, sir? Or radios?
It's a funny guy.
Sorry.
That levy's gonna cost you one day.
Love you. Love you.
But they taught you the Bill of Rights and certain things in there, and after time, you just kind of forget them.
You're right.
You just forget them. But in the back of your mind, they're there. You
Right.
know what's right and wrong. But I think everybody becoming familiar with them and just like they did when you went to school. Understand why you're a police officer, what you're protecting. I mean, you're there to protect and serve.
Right.
You didn't become a police officer to arrest.
I can't wait to show them some things downstairs.
Protect your rights.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
guys, this job is a lot, and that is not lost on me.
Yeah.
It's not lost on me.
So after all this, tell them, because I don't want to keep talking. I feel like I'm talking. Tell them what you did with the training, what you did.
I did my research and I put out a training information block for them on the 1st, 4th, 5th, and
Open carry.
open carry, which is what we get hit with the most, but that's the stuff they really need to know, where we tend to violate people's rights. So I sent that out, they all acknowledged it,
Yeah.
or they have till Friday to acknowledge it.
Yeah. And go over, not just adopt, but go over
So
it.
that's through the.
That's through Target Solutions.
So we have Target Solutions, which is a computer software program that's got pre-loaded trainings on there. So.
I created that one.
Yeah.
I uploaded it, yeah.
Okay, so we have the ability to take preloaded, or you can customize, create your own. The police department has their own batch of things, and then the fire department has a batch, and then general government has a batch.
So if you guys covered, there's another, and he doesn't even classify himself as an auditor, but he frequents this area, the armed fisherman.
Normally he hits Ormond, but we've had him maybe once or twice, I think, over
Yeah,
Because
It's
he's
Fort
had
Orange a
some
lot.
supremely negative contacts with law enforcement where.
we've covered it where there's an email about that, and we'll follow the T of the law. And that open carry has requirements in it, and we're going to follow the law. We may have to respond,
of course,
right? Because we got to, but we got to go to a service call, but we're going to follow the elements of that, and but he has, or she, I don't know if it's a he. To be honest,
It's a he.
yeah, I don't. There's been, and we'll interact with them the best way we can. So
When I do refresher trainings like this, I call it a refresher training. Now, once they all claim that they've read it, then I go out and talk to them about it.
Buzz.
So it's not just them reading something
Right.
saying they did it. I go out and basically quiz them much like
And
they
I
did.
mean, and there's a pretty easy, and
Yeah.
you might have already known this. There's a pretty easy acronym that you'll never forget the First Amendment. RAPS, RAPPS. You'll never forget it after that. So.
Okay. Yeah. Anybody else?
The only, like what Joe was saying, I think a lot of it as time goes on from when you're out of the academy, because the academy, they'll tell you, what does the Fourth Amendment right say, or what does this say? When you've been doing it as long as most of us in the room, then you get to the point where I may not be able to tell you what's in the Fourth Amendment, but I know what it deals with, and by statute, what I can and cannot
Right.
do.
That's
Because we
perfect.
convert to state statutes
Right.
more than, the first, or the amendments are the umbrella of everything, but then we have the individual states and stuff like that. So when you talk about illegal search and seizure, you may not get a lot of cops that tell you that's the Fourth Amendment, but they'll tell you what they can and cannot do under search and seizure.
Perfect.
Or, even the Second Amendment. The first one, after all this came out, I sat there and I went,
You get the
I
four?
knew four.
Yeah, I got the four also.
the,
Full
the
transparency.
assembly, I was like,
Yeah,
or not the assembly, the petition to
Petition
government.
was the one,
and
yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't remember that, because in the 18 years I've been a cop, we've never had any issue about it.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where, it's not that it's not there, it's just,
If you don't use it,
it's
you
packed
lose it.
away
Yeah.
and in the garage, and I'm just trying to get to that box type
Yeah.
thing. But
Yeah.
I take pride in the fact that we get very few complaints in this agency from the citizens, because we promote a positive interaction with the community. We're not your typical big city agency that walks around like paramilitary and all that stuff. And we do all kinds of events and throughout the year and just interact, and we get maybe a handful of complaints a year. I did one IA last year. Two IAs last year, where you got agencies that do that in a month. So we take pride in that, and I do believe that some officers, not just in Holly Hill, but in general, because of everything that goes on, and they're not all like you. The auditors, they're not kind of passive and stuff like that. They're in your face trying to get you, because what do they want? They want the 15 seconds of you losing your temper or
Beauty of it
this
is
and
if we get
that.
everybody trained up, we'll be able to handle and respond accordingly to anybody that wants to
Right.
approach.
Yeah.
So,
I look forward to working with you.
I
Once we're all
appreciate the
done here and we do the
opportunity.
tour, I'll give you my card, and when we're all ready to, you and I will just work
Yeah.
together.
Okay.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, yeah. Appreciate you.
Drank almost all of it.
anything else you need?
No, we're just gonna go down, go over this tour,
Yeah.
see what it's all about. Thank you very much. Joe. I appreciate it.
No, I'm glad we got the time. We'll be your positive example.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I mean, you guys already, and I think you know from our interaction.
Oh, yeah, I saw it. I
You
thought it was
have
great.
it.
Yeah.
And hopefully that ends up getting the views that the Lake Helen one did, because it deserved it.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it. Take care.